What's up, man? Mr. Jonathan, how are we today, brother?
Good, you?
Good, man. Good. Blessed. So, welcome to Grunt Talk, man. This is going episode 16 for us here.
It's crazy.
So, pretty much, yeah, it's been going on a good way. I know you, of course, from 24.
Right.
My employee for a while.
Yeah, for a good time there.
Definitely want to, first time being in here, I want to start from the beginning, of course. We'll go a little bit into 24, and then definitely a big topic that I want to go into for you because of your job in the Air Force is how you got into that, the whole selection course, of course, and then being an officer, that whole program. Where were you born and raised?
I was born in Lakewood, Los Angeles. Did a few years there with my family, and then we moved to San Diego, just because we wanted to get out of the hood. And well, I don't really remember much of it as a kid, but from the stories my family talked about, it wasn't that good. East LA isn't that good for a kid growing up, so they wanted to get remove us from that place and just bring us to a nicer, cleaner place. So San Diego is definitely a move. I lived on a reservation there, so San Pasqual for a good amount of my life, and then I went off to college and became an officer.
What age did you move out here to San Diego?
When?
What age?
Oh, what age? Oh, wow, yeah, like elementary, maybe early middle school.
And you said you didn't remember
Not
most
much.
of LA?
Yeah, I remember bits and pieces.
Do you remember what part of LA?
Exactly? Oh, wow. No, not really. I know my family's from Compton, La Mirada, and just Long Beach in general, but where exactly I grew up, what street? No, I don't know that.
Hey, sometimes people are like, man, I live in this street,
Yeah.
this house, fucked up door, all that shit.
Yeah, absolutely. I do remember it was a two-story house, kind of, I think. It was, we lived on the top floor, so maybe we just owned the top, but yeah, it was 2 stories, and we were falling down the stairs as a kid, so maybe that's what made me choose this field, just because, all of us are a little messed up in some way or another.
And then what high school did you go to?
Valley Center High School.
Valley Center?
Yep.
And then from there, I know most people in high school, right? Like my high school had it, I had no idea about, I think is it ROTC, right? Like
JROTC?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
See,
no.
even then, I still even know after service.
Yeah, ROTC is for college, JROTC is for high school students, but no, I didn't know about ROTC until I actually, kind of went to college, because I was always looking at the academy or, VMI, so Virginia Military Institute, both are Army, or the academies, can go both ways, Army, Navy, or Air Force, but yeah, I had my eyesight on West Point, didn't really work out, looked at VMI, so Virginia Military Institute, went there, it kind of looked like a prison to me, so I kind of veered away from VMI. I have a lot of friends that go to VMI, so, respect to them for sure, but yeah, I just found out my ROTC career going to college.
What made you want to go into the military? Like I always tell people,
Yeah.
My story wasn't this crazy thing. It was just fucking bored. I just wanted to leave, do something different. Like I was sick. I didn't want to do the whole 9-to-5 bullshit. Wasn't for me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And growing up, I was kind of just, cheers. Growing up, I was kind of just, I never really liked the 9-to-5 idea, and I was always drawn to action movies. It's just growing up seeing people firing weapons and helicopters flying around, planes doing their thing, infantry guys being infantry guys. That's what made me want to go in the Army, but I'm in the Air Force right now, which I'll get to. So just seeing all that growing up, it just made me want to be a warrior, made me want to fight for something I believed in, and I believe in freedom, prosperity, and the people I love. So I wanted to get in for that reason. I went to college, and I initially I thought I signed into Army ROTC because I wanted to become an infantry officer. My grandpa was in the infantry in Vietnam, so I wanted to do the exact same thing as he did. Obviously, times have changed, and I guess my CRN code for my class got messed up, so they put me in Air Force ROTC. I was like, oh man, I really don't want to be in the Air Force, like that's kind of lame. At the moment, that was really lame, because I was all gung-ho about being an infantry officer, going to the Army, doing my thing there. Got to the Air Force program, I was like, all right, I'll give it a semester, and then I'll switch. 4 years later, all that's passed, I'm an Air Force officer. I just found my calling for the Air Force, and I loved it.
That's so funny, because when we talked about it, right, we both worked for people listening in and watching on YouTube. I met Jonathan as my employee at 24 Hour Fitness. So at that time, he already got commissioned at that time, and just waiting. And it's happened to a lot of people. A lot of people don't know, and who are listening, there's times when you'll do a contract, and either the government fucks up, they waste their money when they're not supposed to, they run out real quick, or just something keeps fucking up on your end, not on your end, but on their end, and it prolongs it. I've seen people be here for 2 years, and then by that time they're so done with it, they don't even want to go on anymore.
Yeah, it sucks, and I kind of got in that weird limbo stage as well. So what happened to me is I commissioned back in May of this year, and that's when I became, an Air Force officer by chance. But I was still in the reserves, so I wasn't active duty yet, and I still had a lot to get through before I actually got to my first station, my first PCS. So when I actually get to where I got to do my training, I was told when I commissioned in May by my colonel, hey, you're going to be here for about another year, so find a job, get comfortable, you'll be here for a while. It's like, great, awesome. Got a job at 24, was loving it. A random Tuesday out of the week, she was like, hey, I was like, hey, she's like, you're going to go to Texas this Thursday, you're leaving. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, pack up your bags, you're leaving in 2 days. I was like, I thought it was going to be for, I was like, I thought it was going to be for another, this is what, September? I don't know, September, October, it was probably early October. And she was like, hey, you're leaving. I was like, okay, awesome. When do I report? She's like, you report Sunday. I was like, okay, it's Tuesday. I leave Thursday. I have to be in Texas Sunday and report. She's like, yep. I'm like, fine, yeah, let's go. And then packed up my bags, went to Texas, and then my active duty career started from there forward. So it's kind of hurry up and wait, and then when they tell you to go, you have to go really fast.
It's so crazy that how it can go so fast. I remember even my little experience. I already knew I was going to leave right after graduation. They just didn't give me like an actual date. They didn't tell me shit. They're like, hey, all of a sudden I'm just chilling at my boy's house, and my recruiter texts me. He's like, hey, you ready? For what? I was like, well, you leave today. I was like, where to? I was like, basic. I was like, what the fuck? So that day, literally, I was just going to in-processing. So I was in San Diego for like another 2 fucking days before I even left. Shaved my head real quick. I was like, fuck that, I gotta shave my head. I'm gonna shave myself. Fuck. Did all that whole processing. It was that quick. It was literally in fucking basic training, and then 6 months later, actually my whole job.
That's crazy.
So it's definitely crazy, and it's so funny that everybody always starts either that way, right? They're like, oh, I was gonna go to the Marines first, I was gonna go into the Army first, and then as I got into it now, I always tell people, I don't care what branch you serve with, if you want to serve, hey, have at it.
Absolutely.
I always tell people, now looking at it, Air Force, I'm not gonna lie, is probably the best thing of living that you're gonna have in regards to it. Hence the reason why we call you motherfuckers Chair Force.
Chair Force, hey, I'm fly desk. Don't fly plane, fly desk, it's all good.
All I did is jump out of your planes, that's all I fucking did.
Hey, we're the FedEx of the military.
But what was that, like going from there, I know you had it in your mind being an Army officer and then going into the Air Force, how was that transition for you? I know every branch is different. Like Army's basic training to be an officer, OCS I think is what it's called. OCS. Day one, you're going to college, like do you guys do that during summer? Like those are what I'm treated. Like, when do you guys do that training?
Right, okay, so there are like 4 ways you can actually get into the officer career field. You can go to school, so go to college, get your bachelor's, and then you can actually go talk to your Army recruiter and apply for OCS. That's pretty,
pretty standard almost?
It's pretty normal. That's kind of not normal in the sense that's for people that, they get their bachelor's of whatever, and they're like, I really don't want to go into this career field yet, and I want to explore my other options. Hey, the military sounds great. Oh, and they'll also pay for my master's. You get the post-9/11 GI Bill, which is a good chunk of change, and you can easily get your master's with that money.
I got my degree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great opportunity. So they'll be like, I really don't want to do 9 to 5, just like what you were saying earlier. They'll go to the recruiter, get a slot for OCS if they can. It's really competitive, especially for people that have no prior experience. They go to OCS, they do their thing there, and then they find out, they apply for their job, get their job, and then they go be an officer. That's kind of like a normal way to do it. Another way is ROTC. So you do 4 years. If you are on a fast track program, it might be 2 years. If that, it's usually 3 or 4 years that you have to be in ROTC. You do your 4 year stunt there, it's college, or 3. And then you pick your dream sheet. Essentially, if you're not going to be pilot, if you're not going to be any type of special operations or special warfare, then you pick a dream sheet, and then on that dream sheet, the Air Force or the Army or whoever picks your job. So your MOS or AFSC, you get that job, you go to your training, and that's how you become your officer.
Real quick, what'd you have on there?
What?
What'd you have on there on the list?
So for me, it was So usually if you don't go for pilot, or if you don't go try out for special warfare, those are both very competitive. There's a standard, I don't know, like 20 to 30 jobs that you can pick from as an officer, for at least the Air Force, that I had the option of choosing from. Mm-hmm. I think my number one was cyber warfare, because that sounded really cool to me. Yeah, it sounded cool to me, and like, you know, you're on the computer, it's like the 90s hacker, it's like, oh, I'm in mainframe kind of thing. Yeah, so that was my number one. I believe my number two was security forces, so SecFo, so MP essentially. And 3, oh man, it might have been Intel. I think 3 was intelligence for me, so an Intel officer. 4, 5, 6, I don't remember what they were. I don't remember.
I think it had something like that too, because I think they give you those options too as well. I don't fucking remember, dude. I just wrote infantry, that's all I fucking remember. I didn't remember the other options. I didn't even care. I was like, just give me that one. Whatever's quicker.
Absolutely.
But going into that, so it took you the 4 years, right?
Yeah, I did ROTC my freshman year to my senior year. I graduated on time somehow. There's a few classes.
What did you degree in?
Management and marketing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, well, management, then I got a minor in marketing. So,
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, it was a good time. I really enjoyed my college experience. So we talked about getting your bachelor's and then going to OCS as a civilian. We talked about ROTC. There also is another way, so you can enlist, and then do a few years there, get your bachelor's, and then apply for OCS. You have a higher chance of getting into OCS with that, because you already have your degree, you have military experience. You're more competitive than the civilian. So that's where it gets, the competition from.
What I see from GC Expand is just the military is not waiting for you to graduate, if you graduate, that is. So it makes sense. It makes sense that the military would do that. Because I never understood that. I'd always have friends who were like, oh, I'm going to get commissioned. And I have a couple friends who got commissioned the other way.
Right.
I just never understood that. And I think there's a lot of people who, even working at 24 Pro, they're like, oh, I'm going to go to the military, stuff like that. Yeah. Like, oh, cool, we're vets. Hey, we've served before, what's up? And they give us that story, like, hey, I want to do this. I always tell every person, like, dude, you be an officer, be an officer.
Yeah.
It's just, it helps you get so much better at becoming the leader. And to be a leader, you have to grow up so much faster anyways. Yeah,
you do. You definitely have to grow up faster as a person, because I'm 22 years old. I'm an officer in the Air Force. It's a lot of responsibility. It's the most responsibility you'll get, like, bang for your buck. Like, I don't know many other 22-year-olds that are doing the similar job as I know other officer friends that are doing their own job. They're an engineer, they're an intel, they kind of take care of themselves only. They don't really have people they have to take care of. In my career field, I am lucky enough to be able to be in that role to take care of other men. Not deal with their problems. I don't like saying deal, because that makes it sound like they're a hassle. I say work with them and figure out what's the best, next COA, course of action for them in their life, personal life, military career, anything like that.
What was the biggest thing for you? I know we were talking about when we were 24. Going into, once you got commissioned and everything, going there, you picked, what was your job actually?
As in, like what's my job now?
Yeah.
So I'm a trainee, so I'm a TAC-P candidate. So for officers at least, you have to get, selected. So you have to put in a paper application to go to this course. And this course is, there's different courses for different jobs. There's STO, CRO, TAC-P. I applied for TAC-PO, so TAC-P officer. It was called ALO, so Air Liaison Officer. There's been some job expansion and enlightenment, and they just switched the names around just to make it easier, I think. But so TAC-PO keep it simple essentially. So TAC-PO candidate essentially. You have to go to this week-long selection. I went to it at Moody Air Force Base in Georgia a year and a half ago. You get there, it's essentially a week of sleep dev, leadership, land nav, just events to figure out who you are as a person. There's psych docs assigned to a group of people, like each 5 people at the selection have their own psych doc. They look at them, evaluate them, put them in a rack and stack essentially. Are they good or are they not good? Why or why not? And then they have like regular doctors looking at you like, okay, can they perform this task well? Okay, their heart rate's going crazy. Okay, they probably can't swim that well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's a pretty in-depth evaluation. It's gotten better the longer the selection's been there. So it was called AAA, now it's called Top T, so TAC-P Officer Phase 2. Essentially what it is.
How many people started with you in the class?
I think we had 50 people.
How many people finished? Everybody finished, or?
No. About half the guys finished.
Okay.
So like 25 people.
That's a good way to kind of weed people out.
Yeah.
Schooling in the military is so different.
Especially as, going into the career field of it being that, physically and mentally challenging. And of those 25 people, I only think maybe 13, 14 people got picked up.
Oh, wow.
So the other guys were told, hey, you didn't get picked up right now, but you can come back. Like, you're invited to come back. Of course, you have to put your application back in again. You have to make it through the entire Hell Week. They called it Hell Week. It was good. It was a fun time. I wouldn't say it was Hell Week because it wasn't that bad, for me at least, but obviously for some people it was, more difficult. And what I struggled with, other people exceeded with, and I struggled with, well, obviously the swim. Because we don't swim as much as Crow, Stowe, so PJs, CCTs, SR guys, but there is some swimming in the TACP career field, some. But we're rocks, we sink. We're made to load, to bear weight and carry a long distance. That's why we don't swim that well, because we're so heavy, we're dense, we're not flexible, I don't know. But it was just a week of that. Then after that, you get to TACP prep. So if you get picked up, you go to Lackland. So across the street from Lackland, there's Chapman Annex. There you have TACP prep. That's about another week long. And after that, you start your course as an officer. So 4 blocks of TACP apprenticeship. It's block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4. Each block is separated into specific trainings. Like block 1 is let's say just radios. Block 2 is combatives and land nav. Block 3 is small arms, fire, just fire teams, leading, and plus the other 2 blocks. So radios still, also a lot of land nav, vehicle nav probably. Block 4 is putting it all together. And then after that, you get your nice black beret and you go on to your, get your JTAC qualification.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah.
That's so different. Every branch always has what they get. I was just gonna ask that too. What do you get? I know for, at least in the Army, when I went to Airborne School, we got our black berets, just our issued ones.
Yeah.
The Army doesn't wear berets anymore. They just kind of wear the little hats now.
Yeah, we stole that actually. The TACP stole that from the Army actually.
Yeah.
Or borrowed, I would say.
Stole, you motherfucker stole. But we would get the rumor berets. So if you pass Airborne School, you'd be surprised, dude. That, to me, that was the easiest fucking school I've ever been to.
Yeah.
If you went to that school, I don't know if you have to, I don't know if that's required.
TACPs go to Airborne and then Aerostall.
Did you do Airborne?
Not yet. Yeah, not yet.
You will laugh all you do this, and you will laugh at how much people fail that fucking, it's just 3 weeks.
Yeah.
3 weeks. First week isn't not even much really, they're just getting you into your whole system.
Yeah.
And then the next day, as soon as you get there, you do PT test. And dude, on the PT test alone, half these motherfuckers.
Is that just the standard 2? Is it a 2-mile run or a 3-mile run?
They give you, I think that they did it because there's so many people who go to Airborne School.
Right.
They know a good amount of I'm talking about motherfuckers who've been sitting in office for 20 years of their whole fucking career, out of shape.
Yeah.
Ain't doing this shit no more. More than half those dudes fucking leave. Yeah, it's exactly that. But they cut it in half. So let's say you're doing push-ups. As soon as you hit 42, all right, you're done.
Really? They stop you?
They stop you because there's that many people. They don't care if you can do more. Sit-ups. I think it was 50-something. All right, cool, you're done.
Really?
And then the mile, I think it was 2 miles. You just had to finish it. I don't think they even gave a fuck about the time.
Really?
But you'd be surprised, man. It just weighed people out. The second week was just showing you how to do PLFs, how to slip and everything. You do some of the jumps from the towers that they had.
Yeah, I know. Do they still use the towers?
Yeah.
They do?
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as I know. That was the last time I did those. And then the third week is when you do your jumps. They show you how to bag everything, how to set up your rigs and everything. And then, the third week you do a Hollywood jump, which is you're jumping without anything, just your parachute.
Got it.
Second one is going to be a combat jump. Third one is going to be a night jump. Your fourth one is going to be a combat jump in the day, and your fifth one, I think, is just another Hollywood.
Okay.
So it depends. Mine got messed up. I almost didn't even come home on time.
Oh, really?
Because it was raining like crazy in Georgia. So with that, it fucks up you can jump in the rain, but if it's too bad of winds up there, the knots and everything, fucks you all up.
Right.
So there was 3 days. It got to the point where it was the last day. We were the last ones. You needed 2 jumps. That's it.
Right.
All right, all we're doing, we're gonna go back to back. You're literally gonna jump, just your parachute, just Hollywood, get down, get another fucking parachute, you're gonna go again, and that's what we did.
Nice.
And luckily we were able to graduate that way. But as soon as we did that, we literally came back, put our nice uniform on, and then just got a berets.
Nice.
And that was the whole thing on there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But it's crazy how different every branch can be for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And the TACP career field is completely different, from the CCTs, the brand new SR. So SR, it got reinvented. So it was Southeast, so Special Operations Weather Team. Now it's SR, so Special Reconnaissance.
Sounds a lot better.
Sounds better. Yeah,
it sounds better.
Sounds a lot more cool, for sure. And then you also have the PJs, and then they get their berets at different times in their course, usually probably after they finish. But after, TACP apprenticeship, that's when we get our black berets, and that's when, we go to our, so it's being changed around right now, actually. Like, as the TACP community is in a big change. So they used to be, you go to your ASOS, so Air Support Operations Squadron, then you'd get JTAC qual there. And being in JTAC qual is like 12 to 24 months, so it's a long time before you can even call in airstrikes. So JTAC stands for Joint Term Attack Controller. The same thing as the TACP. So TACPs are guys that are not JTAC, or they can be, but they are guys that are JTAC qual in time. But once you go to your ASOS from a TACP, you become a ROMAT, so radio operator, maintainer, and driver. You're essentially a JTAC apprentice.
Gotcha.
You are assigned usually to a JTAC, and you kind of like learn the ropes, and then you go to your JTAC QC, so your JTAC qualification course. You do all the, testing and qualification there. Then you get your JTAC badge, and you can actually control air.
I know when I was in deployment, there was always a JTAC with us.
Yeah.
Always. No matter what mission we went on, there was always a dude in the Air Force there with us, right along with us. I didn't even know it was Air Force because pretty much the same uniform and everything.
Yep.
Only way I knew was because he's like, oh, I'm in Air Force. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Actually, fucker, but
Yeah, so the primary duty of a TACP is, well, let's say you're a TACP, you're not even JTAC qual yet. You'll still go and you'll, advise ground commanders of the air assets you have and the capabilities that you do have. So, okay, we have these at our standby, this is what we can do with them, and let's say the commander's like, hey, I want this effect, we'd be like, okay, with this, on this, air to mud, like on timely manner, we can give you that effect, and then we'll give you like a different, package essentially.
Gotcha.
But as a JTAC, you'll be assigned to a lot of ground units, so Army units, Marine, SEAL units, that's going more to soft, and Ranger Regs, and then JSOC, stuff like that. So there are different levels of TACPs. So there are regular conventional TACPs, which are the guys you probably worked with, and it's just like a lifestyle that you choose essentially. Like those guys probably have families they want to get back to, they have their own careers they want to start up somewhere else, and then there are soft TACPs, and those are the guys that run with Tier 1, Ranger, SEAL guys, stuff like that. Those are the guys that are like super gung-ho, want to go for it, do their own thing. Like it's really, really competitive, and also with the competition it becomes high risk, high reward, and it's a good time.
Definitely interesting, man. I know these are things I wanted to ask you before, but I know you hadn't done your job at the time.
Yeah, I'm still learning.
I'm still interested.
Still learning. I'm always going to be learning. I'm very brand new to this career field, so of course, just diving, like getting into it, I wanted to know as much as I can. Like I said, still learning every single day. I'm finding out something new. A new acronym. There's so many acronyms in the military.
Death by acronyms.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, it's awesome. It's a great career field to get into, especially the officer side. Yeah, eventually all officers will lead to a desk at some point or another. But as a TACPO, you'll get a few years of deployments under your belt, and then you'll go advise and oversee other TACPs.
Yeah, people, especially because you're so young technically into the field, even though you've done your 4 years.
Yeah.
As of right now, the training, everything you're doing, as new as you are, staying in, gonna make a career so far.
That's a great question. Yeah, so young and just fresh into this career field. Yeah, I mean, I love it. I mean, I've started my new job, my shiny job with this fancy title and whatever. I love it. I love working with my guys, the guys in the community, and all the special warfare community. They're all awesome. I'm a people person by nature. I like talking to people, I like working with people, I like problem solving. This career field and all the other spec warfare career fields have their own unique problems. They have a lot of them, not bad, but just as missions, problems. As missions go on, things go wrong, that kind of thing, anything. I like that. I like working, I like solving problems with my men, getting the outcome we want. At the end of the day, sitting back like, that was good. Yeah, that sucked, but we got the outcome we wanted. We got the effect. That's what I want, and that's what I got. I love it so far.
I love it. I love it. That was me. I think at 22.
Yeah.
I came back from deployment.
Right.
And I think I was in garrison. We call it garrison. I don't know what you guys call it. Like,
yeah.
where you're not in war, nothing. You're just, it's like a 9 to 5 almost. It really is. If you're not trained, you're just doing the fucking 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Infantry is more like 4 whenever the fuck we say we get off.
Yeah.
It's no fucking 9 to 5
yeah.
for us. But I think, it was at that time. And it was so funny. Right before I got out, they actually, special warfares, they actually gave me an invitation. I forgot how the fuck I met somebody from there, and they liked me. So like, dude, come try out. Yeah. And he was an instructor there. I was like, come try out. I was like, the fuck? I was like, at this time I had 6 months left, dude. I was a piece of shit, man. I was a shitbag. I didn't give a fuck anymore. I was like, I'm done. Yeah. Deuces. Like, it was not that I didn't love my career. I'm so proud I wore those boots, and I would do it all over again with the same group of people.
Yeah.
I always tell people, as long as you have that under your belt, who gives a fuck if you served it in 1 year? You've only served how many years? As long as you don't regret it. I don't regret it, but I knew for 20 years of being a grunt, I'm like, I can't do this shit.
Right.
And I'm happy because I met my wife. Got my twins.
Right.
And I know if I stayed in, that probably wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
I think it would have been more down the long haul.
Yeah.
Interesting question I want to ask you.
Sure.
Being young as you are, going to having your own place there and everything, getting that commission money, right?
Yeah.
For you, I think an interesting thing that people don't understand how hard it is to be in a relationship. Are you in a relationship, or do you see yourself being in a relationship? No. That for me was the hardest fucking thing. Just because, not because I saw myself like, oh, I can't be with this girl because I'm a Cali and stuff like that.
Right.
It was more of, I saw what happened to my brothers.
Yeah.
In that relationship. And I'm assuming you might be hearing that already with people just there.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on. I know that was a big thing for me. I'm like, I'm not fucking dating anybody in that sense. Do you see yourself like having a family in the military, doing the whole thing that way, or just you the whole time?
That's a great question, and hopefully I can answer that to the best of my ability right now. But I want a family one day. I definitely, obviously, before you have a family, you have to have a girlfriend, then you propose to her, go through that whole set of ordeals.
Yeah, military now, dude. It can change like that, bitch.
Yeah, I know. Actually, I do.
Go to the strip club, dude.
I do. I know a few of my guys that are getting married. They're pretty young, 19, 20. They're getting married over this break that we have right now, and I'm like, congratulations, but like, I couldn't see myself getting married at 19 or 20, regardless of right now. Or just even having a girlfriend in this career field, just because it's a lot of time that you're away, and not even like time, let's say like she lives with you in training. It's not even time away physically, just time away mentally as well.
Very true. Because
you have a lot on your plate. You have to study, you have to stay in shape, you work out a lot, your body's broken, so you have to recover a lot, so you ice and you use, Theraguns and normal attacks and whatever you have at your use, you'll use. And even when you are gone, you wake up at 4, you step off and start PTing, pretty darn early, 5:45, 06. I do that right now at least all day long, 3 workouts a day, get lunch in the middle, another workout in the afternoon, and then I usually go to the gym again with one of my other buddies, and then we have a 4th workout in the day, and then by 5 o'clock we're usually in bed ready to go to sleep because we fall asleep pretty early, just because you got to get all that rest, because it's active working out, and you need that recovery to supplement that. But going back to the question of having a girlfriend or being in a relationship, I want to be so bad, but I also know that it's not my time yet. I know that I'm ready to be. I'm mature enough, and I have, I'm financially well off, and I'm all independent. But I want to put my time and my focus to my men. I want to put my time, my focus to my job, being the best that I can. Because if I'm not taken care of, I can't take care of anyone else. And I know that if I'm in a relationship, that's going to take time away from myself, my men, my job, and my focus from someplace. As much as I do want to be in a relationship, I don't think right now is the best time. And then operationally going down the line, being away, back-to-back deployments, that's going to be tough as well. So if you meet the right person, or if I do, absolutely, I'll jump on the opportunity, but I'm not going to force anything. I'm just going to let it happen naturally, organically. So, yeah, probably stay single for a little bit.
I was single the whole fucking time, dude. It was
Yeah.
if I stayed in, I think I would have the whole time, to be honest.
You travel so much and you meet so many people. It's like, yeah, if you stay in this little community, you know these many people, sure, then you kind of figure, and if you're just here, you find out who you like here. But being in the military, you travel from here to here, you meet people there. If you travel here, you meet people there, here and here. You know, you have all these people, not to choose from, but that, you know, are available to you to start anything with. And it's different from people that work, let's say, in San Diego. They hang out in San Diego.
That's all they know.
That's all they know. Same thing with people from, I went to school in Pennsylvania, so Pennsylvania, they stay in Pennsylvania, all they know is Pennsylvania. Most people in the military, they travel a lot, but no people, Pennsylvania, Florida, San Diego, you know, Montana, Mississippi, everywhere. And then their pool of people they can hang out with, associate with, and date, it grows, you know? So, yeah, I think I'll be single for a while.
It's a question I like to ask people, just because I always try to help people.
Yeah.
Who are so young into the military career. From the shit I've seen, people like just get divorced over and just fucked up mentally.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, let me give you some advice.
Yeah.
You know, you can take it or not. I don't give a fuck. I'm just, you know, trying to give you some help because it's helped. I saw that firsthand.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks.
It was just definitely something that I think a lot of people get into the military for that reason. They got married young.
Yeah.
Or they got a baby young.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I can't really find an income job right now to satisfy everything that I need to be able to financially give to my family now. You know what? I'm gonna serve.
Right.
And it may be good, maybe first year, second year. After a while, I think the biggest thing that people don't realize, like when I was stationed in North Carolina, I put myself in that standpoint, right? First night, I'm not gonna fucking lie, dude. When I got into my room and everything, like, all right, cool, this is your room. It was pretty much like this, bare room.
Yeah.
Pretty much nothing, right? You had all your stuff in there, but there's nothing in there.
Right.
And that's kind of when reality hits. And you're there, you're your own. You know, you're at your unit and everything.
Yep.
You're just, fuck, nothing here. And I think about it now, I was like, fuck, I could never picture bringing a wife over there, right? I think about how luxury you have here to, fuck, man, I'm bored. Yo, let me help Jonathan real quick. Yo, John, you wanna go lift?
Yeah.
Something that's subtle. Yeah, you get your friends in the military and everything, but from the significant other part, it's so hard. And I always saw them, like, I don't think I could even see that for them. Them being like, damn, how are they gonna be able to do that?
Right.
Like, how can they make new friends?
Right.
It's so crazy going from a whole different field, especially North Carolina. Luckily, I had family there that my mom wanted to tell me about later.
Right.
And I would go visit them every now and then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still felt that. The very first couple of times, I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, it made me so homesick. Like, I just wanted to go home. Eventually got over it.
Right.
But a lot of people, very fascinated, right? As young as you are into your military career, the great reason why I brought you onto this. You know, the podcast is for everybody. You know, whatever combat experience you have or you don't have, or you're not even in combat arms, that's not important to me. What for me is to give you a platform to be able to talk to people. Because your story right here, it just takes one person listening, or somebody sees a clip of it. I'm like, damn, you know what? I've always wanted to go to the Air Force.
Right.
Oh wow, I didn't know all about that.
Yeah.
About ROTC. I didn't know that I could get my degree while doing this and getting paid for my master's and everything.
Yeah.
And I always want to bring somebody, I don't care if you literally just got commissioned motherfucker yesterday.
Brand
You know, it's such a platform to be able to help people. And I always look back, like, how can I help people in regards to, I mean, we relate so much, that's why we got so long at work, was we like to help people. We're people for that reason, and that was my big thing. Like, how can I make a platform that will help them for that reason?
Right.
And anybody listening, whether you have some friends as well, who want to come on the podcast and just tell the story. Like I said, I don't give a fuck, you just got commissioned yesterday, you just got into your first unit.
Yeah.
Everybody has such a unique story, whether it be prior or what got them into it. And that's exactly what this platform's for.
Yeah, it's awesome.
the last thing I want to do for you, brother, I always kind of give people like that last minute.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in the next 3 years?
3 years, hopefully I'll be done with training. We'll see. Like I said, there's a lot of new changes. So traditionally you'd go to your ASOS, you'd get JTAC qual there, and then you'd go and operate. After you, of course, you get Airborne, Airsoft, and any other, Pathfinder if you want to, and if it's available. You go and operate, so that would, that'd be me in 3 years. Let's say that, because I still have to finish the schoolhouse, that'll be another 6 months. If I don't get injured, or if I don't watch back at all, then I gotta wait to go to, my ASOS traditionally, and then 2 more years here, another year, I would be operational. Now they're messing around with this FTU idea, so they're taking guys straight from the schoolhouse after Airborne Airsoft, putting them in this compressed JTAC course, getting them qualified in like half a year if that, and then they're operational within a year and a half, 2 years of being, or finishing BMT and special warfare prep. So it's a super fast turnaround, and it makes more operators more quickly. They're still messing around with that idea because they're not sure if it's going to be a good idea, or if it's going to be, the same level of training that the prior JTACs got in the 24 months or the 12 months they were as a ROMAD learning to be JTAC, then going to their JTAC QC. Where do I see myself in 3 years? Hopefully, again, done with, qualified as a JTAC Tech B, attached to a good unit. And
would you be promoted by then?
What's that?
Would you be another promotion by then?
Yeah, in 3 years from now, I'll be close to captain.
Close captain there?
Yeah.
That's before you take off. That's another interesting thing. I know in the Army, the only reason why I know somewhat of the structure of the military, a lot of my friends were lieutenants at first, they got ranked up and everything. At least in the Army, it seemed like it took a little bit longer, depending on what you did. Of course, you might get captain, first lieutenant. How long is the Air Force structure? I know my boys and some who were in the Marines are like, dude, it took fucking forever just to get corporal. It took this just to get this.
Yeah,
Have they explained that, like how your structure?
So, as an officer in the Air Force, it goes second lieutenant, first lieutenant usually after about 2 years, and then captain 2 years after that. So, if you're a second lieutenant, brand new officer, butter bar, and within by 4 years, you should be a captain if you don't mess up at all. So don't get any bar fights, don't crash your car, anything dumb that it could be easily avoided. And you meet all your marks, you're a great person, your peers love you, you do great on all your evaluations, you kick ass at your job, you'll be captain in 4 years. After that, it goes to major, and major takes a little bit longer to get to, then obviously lieutenant colonel's a little bit longer than that. Usually most people are lieutenant colonel, or if you're a Firewall 5, like awesome, you'll be a colonel, so full bird by 20 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a long time. So captain in 4, usually, major another 4 years, like 6 years after that, maybe 8, and then colonel another 6, 8 years after that.
Well, we'll see, brother. I'm excited for you, brother. It was a pleasure having you on the show, man. Seeing you again, brother. All right, brother.